What's going on, folks? Vlog number 2 today. It's been a few days since the first post that I did, so um, getting ready to get some stuff done today. It is Friday, and I'm off work, so I've been at home and doing some different projects and getting some things done. I am still, as of today, at about 28 pounds down, which is great. Anytime I lose weight, and then it stays that same weight or in that general range for a couple 3 days, then I really know that that's not water fluctuation in my weight. That's actual weight loss. So it's really good. I'm really happy about that. I'm like 7 weeks or so into carnivore at this point, and cravings and struggling with wanting other stuff or any of that. That's all gone, thankfully. It was really bad the first couple of nights, especially when I started doing this. It was tough for a couple of nights. That's normal. That's what's happened to me when I've done this before, and it's one of the things that makes me so confident in just doing this permanently. Is I don't want to go through that constantly, and I don't want to weight up and weight down fluctuation back and forth and yo-yo like that. So uh, it's just not worth it. So um, I thought I'd pop on here just real quick. I've got to get ready because we're going to be going out for dinner here in a little while, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in a second. But I just thought I would go ahead and talk about something that's been on my mind for a minute. And that is the question that some people ask of someone like me doing a carnivore lifestyle of, why do you not eat plants? And there's a lot of different reasons. I will list some of the ones that are most important to me, and then there's other people that I'm sure may have their own reasons too. But there's essentially a few things for me. Number one, um, I like vegetables, okay, but they're not something that I'm just dying to have on a regular basis. So it's pretty easy to give them up. Um, Another thing is fiber really messes with my intestines, and I've had irritable bowel syndrome my whole life, and intestinal issues and just not pleasant, crampy experiences in the bathroom, and trying to wake up in the middle of the night with bad like pains in my intestinal area and my stomach because of like gas and bloating, and it just really unpleasant stuff. Loose stool, diarrhea really bad. Like there's a lot of things that I've dealt with, and on carnivore, without the fiber, without the vegetables, that goes away. That gets better. And I didn't really know until I'd done carnivore the first time what it's like for other people. I have just struggled with that my whole life. And when I don't have fiber in my diet, um, that completely takes care of itself. And I feel massively better in that way. And you can go do the research. There's no research out there that shows that fiber is actually necessary. I know this is what the medical community tells us, that we need fiber, right? Everybody has to have fiber, 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 fiber. Um, it's actually not necessary, and there's no medical research that shows that it is. And if you actually go look at research studies, it shows that people actually get better without fiber. People that have things like ulcerative colitis or Crohn's or any of these other kinds of diseases that cause these issues, irritable bowel syndrome included, it gets better without fiber. And believe me, without any fiber, I have no problems going to the bathroom. It's totally fine. Um, so all of the scientific information seems to show that fiber is actually contraindicated in a human diet. So in a proper human diet. Not to say that some people can't have it and that it's not a problem. I'm sure there are people that don't experience what I experience, but for me specifically, I definitely experience issues. So there's that. The next thing is, there are a lot of things in fruits and vegetables and plant matter of any kind, starches and legumes and all these different things that most of us have never been told about. And that's things like oxalates and lectins and phytates and all this kind of stuff. And essentially what they are is plant toxins. They are there to protect the plant from being eaten. Animals can run or fight to defend themselves, but plants also care about their survival on a a genetic, scientific level. And their method of defending themselves is plant toxins. That's how they keep themselves from being eaten and destroyed. And the oxalates are basically plant toxins that make me super sick, and lectins bind to vitamins and minerals and keep you from absorbing them. And you can go and look at all of the scientific portion of this. I am not a scientist or a doctor, so I don't have the expertise to fully explain all of this, but there are a lot of things in there that really mess with me. And there's a couple of things that happen. One, I feel really terrible. I get aches and pains and stiffness and joint problems and all this kind of stuff when I eat vegetables. And I didn't know that I was having this issue until I stopped. And then when I added them back in, it immediately flared up. And I realized this is the pain that I'm dealing with on a daily basis. And I'm almost so numb to it because, I'm experiencing it daily. I didn't realize it was happening. And then when I finally cleared it all out, then when I tried adding things back in the first time, which was, a couple of years ago now, I realized it was not good. And so, when I went off carnivore and I went back to eating just kind of a standard American diet and I gained a bunch of weight back, I was experiencing pain and I was experiencing issues, and all of that stuff was happening. So that's why I want this to be a permanent thing, and I don't want to go back because it's not fun. Along with the inflammation that comes in the muscles and the joints and all this other stuff, I experience inflammation in my brain, and I did not know. I remember these kinds of feelings going back as young as 8, 9, 10, 11, somewhere back in that part of my life, where I was just angry and sad and depressed, and I didn't really understand this, and I've just sort of always thought this was the way it was, and I've blamed myself for being lazy and for not having enough just get up and go, and being honestly really hard on myself, and expecting perfection, and then wondering why I couldn't deliver it, and seeing all these people that do all these things daily and just wondering how they can do that and how they have the energy, and I didn't understand. There are a number of people with autoimmune issues and mental health issues that have used a carnivore diet to reduce inflammation in their body and in their brain to essentially completely reverse all of the effects of these autoimmune diseases and their mental health issues. So I basically have what I guess I would term a dietary induced depression when I eat fruits and vegetables. Carbs, yes, but specifically vegetables that are high in oxalates, dark greens, anything that has lots of fiber. It messes with my gut and it messes with my brain. And you can ask my wife, like I will have something I'm not supposed to have, and whether it's something with fiber, like a starch or something, or a vegetable that's green, that's maybe not a starchy veggie, but it still has that fiber and has the oxalates and the lectins and all these things. And there's so many carcinogenic compounds in vegetables. There's hundreds of them that we know about. Scientifically, it's all there. They seem to mess with me. They make me not feel good, and they put me into this really weird mental place where everything is doom and gloom, and the future doesn't hold any hope and promise, and I'm very sad, and I have no energy, and I have no desire. I become very apathetic towards things, and I'm not me. So, there's no food out there that tastes good enough to be worth feeling like that on a daily basis or acting like that and putting my family and friends through that. So, I would call that an undiagnosed diet-induced depression, essentially. And I was living with it for years, and I was angry, and I was stressed out and struggling and all these things, and I didn't even know that I was. And once I removed all of it, I remember my wife told me, she was like, after I'd done carnivore for the first time, she said, "You wake up every morning smiling. I've never seen you do that before." And it's true. I wake up and I'm more optimistic about the day, and I'm smiling, and even if I'm tired, I'm still doing much better. And I don't really struggle waking up in the morning. I may be a little tired right at first, but that gets better as I continue losing weight and doing carnivore longer. But I wake up and I have energy. I'm able to get out of bed, which you can ask my parents. My entire life, I have never been good at waking up and getting out of bed. And I'm a lot better at that. Um, I'm not sad. I'm not depressed. I don't feel down. I don't feel apathetic. I care about things. I'm passionate about things. I'm a lot more productive on carnivore. I'm just a lot more me. I'm the person that I want to be. And I remember the first time this happened where I started to recognize that this was going on, and I was learning about this. You can go look at like Michaela Peterson, Jordan Peterson's daughter. She has a lot of information on this, and Jordan Peterson talks about it as well. But you can go look at what they do, and they talk about all this stuff, and it's amazing to see the difference that people like this experience. And so I did some research and realized this is what was going on, and I was like, is this what this is like for people? Is this what normal people feel like? Because I didn't know I could feel this way. And it's like, if this is what other people feel like on a daily basis, people that are productive and happy and optimistic about life, it's like, well, no wonder I haven't been able to relate to people like that for a long time, because it's very different. So anyway, those are a few of the reasons. There's other things, the weight gain and the other issues, but those are some of the personal things for me, which is why I don't eat plants. Not to mention just the cravings, the carb cravings that come from eating the sugar and the veggies and fruits and all that stuff. It shouldn't be this way, but a Brussels sprout leads to a plate of Brussels sprouts, leads to fruit, leads to something else, and the next thing you know, I want to eat a whole box of Twinkies. And it's like, and I'm talking within a few hours, it goes from me eating one Brussels sprout to all of the carb cravings and food addictions come back, and the next thing you know, I'm craving an entire box of snack cakes, and that's just not good. And it's not just snack cakes; it's mashed potatoes, it's slushies, it's fast food. Anything in the world that is carb laden and terrible, be it savory or sweet, I will just be craving these things, and it's in my mind that I cannot let it go, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, why am I even thinking about this? I have other stuff to do, and I just don't. I don't have a good explanation from a scientific standpoint of why that happens, but I know that this has been talked about by hundreds, if not thousands, of people that do carnivore and struggle with these things. So anyway, those are kind of my reasons for not eating plants and why I stick with a carnivore diet. Okay, so dinner tonight, I told you guys I'd tell you about this. We are going to go to Edley's Barbecue. So what I'm going to do as a carnivore is I'm going to get brisket by the pound, probably like a pound of brisket or so, and have them put nothing on it. They use some simple seasonings. They smoke it to cook it. That's it. So I'm not going to use sauces. I'm not going to get sides. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to eat brisket. Now, one of the things people say is, well, that's really expensive to go out and eat like that. And you're right, it can be. Not as bad as you think, because especially on carnivore, you just don't need to eat that much. You can eat a half a pound of meat, a pound of meat, and you're full and you're fine. And that doesn't really cost any more than a normal meal at a lot of places. But if you're concerned about that, then you do what I did. So today, earlier on, I had a quarter-pound beef patty that I cooked in the air fryer, and I had 6 over-easy eggs that I did with plenty of butter. And I ate that earlier, and I wasn't super hungry. I was hungry, but I wasn't like, really, really stinking hungry. But I went ahead and ate that because I didn't force myself to eat. It was easy to eat, but I'm just saying, like, I went ahead and ate earlier than I would have had to today so that I could eat, and then we can go out to dinner. And then when I go out to dinner and eat, I'm not going to be nearly as hungry, because it's not like I've been fasting all day, which a lot of times as a carnivore, I only eat 1 meal a day some days, maybe 2 meals max, but very rarely do I eat more than 2, and I'd say about half the days out of the week I only eat once a day, because I'm just not hungry for anything else. So I get plenty of food in the 1 meal a day. I'm very satisfied, very full, very satiated. You're not thinking about food. You're not hungry. Your body tells you when you're hungry, and I'm just not hungry. So I went ahead and ate that beef patty and those eggs, because that was super tasty, and I'm satiated. That's much, much less expensive because I'm making it at home. And then when we go out to dinner tonight, it's going to be me, my wife, and I think both of my brothers-in-law that are here with us in Tennessee. I think hopefully the 4 of us are going to be able to go out to dinner. Be at least 3 of us, maybe 4 of us. When we go out to dinner, I can just order brisket and sit there and really enjoy some brisket, and I'm not going to be tempted by any of the other things that are there, and I won't have any problems. And I also won't be buying like $40 worth of brisket because I haven't eaten all day. So I can go out to dinner. I can enjoy the social aspect of going out to dinner with my family, and I don't have to spend a massive amount of money to do it. So, um, just a little tip there if you are thinking, you're going to go out to dinner with people and you want to order like a la carte things, or you want to order the meat element of a meal and you don't want to have all the other stuff, but you're afraid you're going to be too hungry. Just eat some stuff at home before you go. Eat earlier in the day or eat right before you leave. Whatever you have to do, it's not going to ruin your meal like we were all told growing up. You're not ruining your dinner. You're just supplementing with things at the house that are maybe not as expensive. And you can also do this in reverse. You can go out to eat just whatever the thing is, come home, throw some eggs in a skillet and put on top of it if you're still hungry. And it's no big deal. So that's a cool little tip. That's one that I use when we're planning on going out to dinner so that I don't feel like I'm breaking the bank. So if you guys want to know more about this, subscribe to my channel and make sure to follow along and stay tuned because you're going to keep seeing me hopefully get skinnier and healthier. And you will see me get skinnier. It's just going to take time. But I mean, we're 7 weeks in and almost 30 pounds down right now. So it's happening and it's happening pretty quick. So I'm also going to do some recipes for you guys, like some carnivore stuff and also some keto stuff because my wife is keto, and show you guys some simple and easy things to do. Might do some grocery store hauls and show you kind of how I do this to save some money because a lot of people say carnivore is too expensive. It's all meat and eggs and that's too expensive, and prices have gone up with the economy. But if you know the right way to do things and you know how to cook some simple things but that are really good, it's easy to have a lot more variety than you think, and it's easy to afford to do this. It's worth the little bit of time and investment that it takes to research and learn all of this stuff. So I'm going to show you guys some of that, some recipes and different things. So click below to subscribe, turn on the notifications, hit the notification bell, and we've got a lot more stuff coming. So if you guys have questions, put them in the comments below. I'm happy to do a video and answer some questions. So until next time, I'll see you guys later.